at the office of the LDA. We've called you here purposely to provide media update. As you may be aware, since the director took over, there's been a lot of vigorous activity across the country to ensure the fight against drug abuse. And as part of that, we call you here today so that we will provide you with the latest information coming from the DA, both in our operations and, of course, the reform under the new LDA. So, without much, I'd like to say, Honorable Director, the media, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. Um, it is always a pleasing pleasure when we face the media um, to deliver on issues of national concern, most especially to the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency. Today we just going through our scorecard, basically checking out where we've been, where we are, and some of the difficulties, and if not, some of the gain that we've had since our ascendancy. The Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency, which is to inform the public of a very unfortunate situation, basically led to the shooting of an unidentified individual who is believed to be supporter of a notorious drug dealer identified as Charles Massacre within the Banjo Beach community. This is unfortunate because uh, this was a pursuit situation and it shouldn't have happened. On Sunday, March 2nd, 2024, we received information that the operation commander in person of Agent Foley Mobile, Yuku Town Detail, was involved in an arrest scuffle along the Banjo Beach community, where an individual yet to be identified became a victim unintentionally when he attempted to tussle with the operation commander in an attempt to disarm him of his weapon after being ordered by the alleged drug dealer not to allow the officer to carry him. Basically, trying to stop the officer from arresting the drug dealer. Um, According to Agent Foley, he received an intel that support that suspect Charles Massacre, the notorious drug dealer, were within the Nuclear Town community to purchase notorious substance. Upon receiving the information, Agent Foley said he proceeded, and he decided to follow after the suspect in an attempt to verify the information and to have him subsequently arrested. While telling him, they were later informed that he had gone to the Banjo Beach, where upon approaching the scene, Suspect Charles Massacre was immediately arrested by our men. In an attempt to have him removed from the scene, a scaffolding ensued, which resulted into the unfortunate discharge of Agent Foley's weapon, which accidentally hit the victim, who was an ally of the drug dealer. After we speak, as we speak, the victim is currently at the hospital receiving treatment uh, at the John F. Kennedy Hospital. Meanwhile, Agent Follett is a licensed arm carrier uh, who has been turned over to the Liberia National Police for further investigation. Uh, Additionally, since we took over as head of the LDA, we have been ensuring a massive reform and rebranding of the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency, as well as ensuring rapid arrests across the country to ensure the government's zero tolerance approach on drug abuse and trafficking is subsequently realized. In detail, permit me to name the most significant of them. In terms of reform, the public can be ensured that a new LDA is on its way as we already begin vetting and screening officers to ensure we get we get the best for what we want. The vetting will pave the way for a new code of officers that conform to the standard of integrity and public trust. Not only that, we are also initiating several professional skill training that will bring officers up to date, up to speed with the current reality of fighting drugs abuse. We are working towards providing a better working relationship and better working environment that would enhance productivity and performance on the job. Our target is to ensure that as we have said consistently, we want LDA to have a truly accountable and responsible to be accountable and responsible in the discharge of our duty. And so therefore, as we prepare them as we prepare them for such tasks, it is our wish and aspiration that the needed resources and support that will enhance a better LDA professional. Our accounts of drug seizure and arrest um, on account of drug seizure and arrest, I've been informed that LDA under our stewardship is less than a month old, and we have arrested huge narcotic substance in the tune of LD 32,146,287 $84 and 7 cents. Um, I will give you an accounting of the various drugs that we've actually arrested of late, and basically which amount to $166,561.60 in US dollars. Tomadot is value. The Tomadot amount in this particular Tomadot calculation in this particular amount is set at 16.6 grams. Kush, the most notorious Kush, is stated as 2,185.9 grams. Marijuana is 6.86 grams. Cocaine is 1,140.1 grams, and heroin is 1,337.3 grams, respectively. There are drugs arrested from Moserado. These are drugs arrested from Moserado, Nimba, River G, and Sando, respectively. Currently, as we speak, all those arrested are serving pretrial detention at their respective territorial location in counties mentioned. Under the current revised drug law, our concern is to ensure that all of those folks arrested are placed and are arrested and are subdued and subjected to professional processes of cutting and making sure that they are in the custody of the correctional system. We are we basically have had the opportunity to engage the court system. Most of the courts around the country are still not abreast with the new drug law. They still set to them, they still set bond arrangement for those guys. We had to call back to the various counties, requesting them to adhere to the new drug law. And most of the arrests are placed like this because when we started the operation in Monrovia, most of the folks out here decided to run back to the interland. But then our operation basically was set to with them because we actually anticipated that they will all leave Monrovia, go to the various mining sites, and so the operation basically set different tactical approaches, and most of them were captured. River G, a lot were arrested. We are yet to get most of the drug information from other counties. These are the counties that we actually collected as of date. And so we also have within our custody here the drugs that were arrested by my predecessor that are placed within their offices. We've never opened any office that the predecessor had since we took over. Why? Because we wanted to have a complete accounting of whatever it is. We asked the government to do us an audit, both financial audit and the drug audit of what we met because we intended to be transparent to everyone. and that has not allowed us to actually go in the back of the my predecessor, since in fact he said he left drugs there based upon the calculation that the folks from the custodian actually provided to me. So we've asked that we asked the UNODC folks, we're going to bring people from the court, the sheriff department, so as to look at these things, so we can open the door and then do an accounting of what it was, so that we can now see that this was the drugs that was arrested and that was placed here. Even though we have not seen anybody being prosecuted by that situation, we have another drugs here that the meth that was arrested at the RIA that actually placed in the offices of the former director. We have not touched them. I think that drugs that were linked to Ms. Finabondo, that drugs is stayed here. We have not settled on them. And I can also make this clear to you that every drugs that was arrested that are still they're still lingering concern about them. We're going to investigate them. Starting from the $100 million case, we are going to go after it. We've started putting questionnaire together. We consulted our lawyers. We will start to put that in place, including the one that arrested at RA, which is linked to Madam Findabondo. It is our own interest to making sure that the issue of drugs in this country is addressed holistically and professionally, because the enormity of the problem we have, I will make sure that you are exposed to the stats that we have. Regrettably, we now, Liberia, a country of 5.4 million people, we have 20% of that 5 million people under the influence of drugs or using drugs or are peddling drugs. 20% of that particular number using drugs. So out of that 20%, you have, which is actually equivalent to 1 million of our population on the drugs. That is scary. For me, as a Liberian and as a parent, it's scaring the health element. And that's one of the reasons why, and because of my belief in this government and in this president's quest to address this drug issue, one of the reasons why I took this job. And I can assure you that with the officers, with the folks that have surrounding me, we are going to go all out to ensuring that we address this issue without any favor to anybody. Once you are there, we are going to make sure that every person, anybody, irrespective of your status in society, uh, once you are within our line of operation and you are a peddler, you are a distributor, you are a dealer, we will arrest you, we will put you before the magistrate court and make sure you are prosecuted by our higher court. One of the reasons why we have basically decided to be a little considerate with regards to the rehabilitation component, and I'll train you a little bit with regards to what is our action. Under the new act, rehabilitation is a component under the new act for us. But because we do not have the requisite facility, the infrastructure at this point, we have decided to hold on to the rating of the streets. We can do the street rating in about 2 days. I can clear the whole of Maruru. I will tell you that clearly. It is simple. But when you clear the folks that we did when I was in the police force, when we did the total base, clear the folks, we took them out, and I was of strong opinion that the folks in the NGO community, the folks in the Ministry of Youth and Sport actually have put up some backing as to how we can accommodate this guy in the system. But to my surprise, the folks, there was nothing offered then, and I was off for law and order. We took them off red light at the time. Red light was fine. Everything was good. People are using their phone nowadays. But then the guys transferred the crime from right there, their presence from there, straight to panel building on Center Street. We're not prepared to repeat that anymore. We have the capacity, we have the understanding to get them. What we're currently doing is to code them, which is part of 100-day delivery. We're going to code them, go to the rural ghetto, get them, codify them into a systematic approach. And once they are systematically placed on our database, we will tag them and wait for the construction of the rehabilitation center. However, what we intend to also do is to enter into a private public partnership with most of our folks out there who have private rehabilitation structure. We have Mother of Grace somewhere around the Rafi Highway. We're going to be engaging them tomorrow. And there are other institutions like Senator Dillon has another institution. We'll be engaging them so as to accommodate some of these guys when we approach them, when we've already coded them into our system. We'll transfer some of them into the facility so as to build a point of satisfaction for our people. The folks out there, they are victim, they're not criminal. We have two people in our system. We have the ones that are trafficking, that are peddling, that are distributing, that are dealing. Those guys are judicial clients. Those are the guys that we are going to be put before the criminal justice system. But the other guys that are on Rounder Street and Center Street, all the places around the country that are taking these drugs, for us, they are victim of this situation. We will find means to process them through our rehabilitation process. When they go to rehabilitation, we get them from rehabilitation. There are steps in the rehabilitation process. At the end of the day, we have Ministry of Youth and Sport, we have Ministry of Labor, we have Ministry of Commerce, and we are just going to be the guys picking them up, coding them, and distributing them to the various institutions. And that's what we're going to do. So I want you to lay the fear today that we are going to go out, the guys in the street that are banking at your community, because that's the most thing I have right now. Everyone I'm passing, oh, Amy, yeah, you're doing a great job, but you see, I got ghetto right next door to my window. All of these calls for raiding the ghetto is fine, but you have to have the infrastructure to get them. I can raid the ghetto. What we're doing right now, strategically and tactically, we're going after the distributor, the guys who's bringing it in, and the guys who are basically dealing it. For my collection now, from what we just seen here, we have guys who are coupled today, this morning, 3 o'clock this morning. We had an operation from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock this morning. After a guy who's a distributor, he's now in our cell. Yeah, they're just talking to code, right?
Sure.
Now he's going to code again. He's going to be added to Mr. the other guy, Obi.
Japan.
But yeah, Japan. So at the end of the day, we will prosecute these people to the best of our ability. I can tell the Liberian people, the only thing I'm calling them, we use this podium here. Drug issue is not a play. I'll tell the folks at the Ministry of Finance, tell the folks everywhere that the support for the LDA has to be paramount. This is a single project that the president campaigned on. One of the reasons why I took this job because I want to make sure the president succeed. I will not sit aside this president who has given us all to not have his single project go down the drain. That's why you see we managing from our pocket. Basically, nobody would find me will tell you they give me a dime. And sometimes I have a family that are dependent on my pocket as well. Because I have a personal issue with regards to this issue of drug, I've decided to take up time to make sure because I got the know-how, I got the willpower. I got guys who are with me who will have the know-how to actually do this. It's just making sure you collect intelligence and intelligent, you act on intelligence. And element of surprise. That's what we've been using. We will have to do that. We cannot do that all alone. We have to be supported. I will use this same podium again to call our international partners. Come and help us. The issue, the fight we're on is not only for Liberia. The list I read, you got cocaine, you got heroin, you got all the drugs that are not predominantly the drug of use, drug of choice for Liberia. And people outside Liberia who are using it. We are gradually trying to put aside a process of a meeting with the Monetary Union where these drugs are coming right from our neighbors. We will be putting up a conference so that we can participate. So okay, solicit the view of this guy. Since our president has staged a war on this process for a national emergency, we will have to invite them to come to a meeting so we can tell them, look, our president basically prioritized this stuff with our process. We're asking you to come and share with us What can we do? What do we do? How do we proceed with regards to this process? You're in Sierra Leone, you're in Guinea, you're in Ivory Coast, you're in Ghana, when you are even in Nigeria, we are planning a trip to Nigeria to go to Abuja to seek their support. We'll be going to the Arab, going to several places. We scheduled meeting with the folks at the British Embassy. The U.S. Embassy are our traditional partner. We are going all out to solicit support such that we have to beef for this person because our interest is to make sure that we succeed. We're going to succeed in this war. This is not something that we want to put aside. We are going to go all out to ensuring that this is something that we go for. So I want to stop there and allow you to query me and you want to quiz me, go ahead. Thank you very much. And with this